Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Chaos Before Cosmos. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. For those of you guys that have been here, thank you guys for joining me today. Can somebody just give me a sound check and let me know, is the background music too much, or I don't want to have to be shouting either, and I kind of feel like it could be just a little bit on the louder side. But I mean, we can also always hear the planes coming over this room, can't we? It's good? All right, my beautifuls. You guys are fucking amazing, man. When I'm sitting there and it's like 10 minutes to go and there's like 5 people already sitting there in the chats and I'm just like in the waiting and I'm like, oh my God, you guys are keen. You guys are keen. And so you should be. Today's going to be a little bit different. It's not a little bit different. It's going to be a lot different. Okay, so we're going to be talking about something that again, we're not going to be talking about some shit that we've already talked about before. We're going to be looking at what's coming up here energetically, and for those of you that sort of have been picking up on this energy, this kind of vibe of like, there's like a momentum, right? There's this momentum that has been sort of mounting, and now that we've hit Sagittarius season, right, this, whatever this is, seems to be expanding, right? Seems to be growing. And yeah, Spirit have just got a bit of a message, right, that they wanted to share with the collective. Now, it is, again, all signs. It is not about your star sign. It is not about your purpose, your path, your destiny. It is not about what your ex is doing. It's not about the third party. It is not about any of the things that have been distracting any of us, right, on this journey of healing that we've all been on. This is about this awareness, okay? So self-awareness. There's going to be a period, collective, where between now and the end of the year, as we kind of know it, more so though in the astrological sense, right? So yes, 2025 is a calendar year, the number 9. This is all about, again, reflection, looking back, and the common theme amongst, all of the reads that you guys have probably listened to is, needing to clear out karma, needing to clear out old patterns, old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things, and getting to a fresh start, a new beginning. Now, I'm not sure what that exactly means to each of you as individuals, okay, but to the divine, to spirit, it means a reset, probably greater than what a lot of us can actually comprehend at this stage, right? So, we're looking at again, this is a level of profound depth, right? Like spirit, again, don't do things without reason, without purpose. Everything that's been happening in your world, collective, right, from the moment that your soul, right, was incarnated here on this earth, okay, it is played out cycles and journeys, and momentum's been building and building and building, and it's kind of like this is what's been happening for a lot of you guys just over even the past 12 months. For some of you guys, maybe a little bit longer, but I think you guys can agree there's like this theme of change, of shifting, of growing, of really having to dig deep into the truth, okay? So this is about recognizing the actual truth about oneself, where one is really at when it comes to matters of love and the heart, right? The vibrational frequency of love is what essentially carries us through life, right? The lack of that, the presence of it, and its power is forever life-changing for those of you guys that can get to a place where that is your permanent vibrational frequency. 1044 on the clock, 144, baby. If you know, right? So Spirit wanted me to basically explain the energy over the next 4 or 5 months, how that's going to be a little bit testing, and not in a negative way. Okay, this is going to be more of a test to gain self-awareness, right? Like a self-awareness test, right? A hazard a hazard perception test. A hazard perception test, right? This is to see whether you are paying attention to what is going on around you, within you. What are you not seeing? What are you not addressing? And what are you taking board on as truth that in actual fact is a lie which keeps you at bay, which keeps you caught in, I don't want to say a lower vibration, but keeps you from reaching the highest possible vibration that you can reach, right? So for some people around me, there's a couple of you guys that, you guys are aware of the shift. You guys are feeling the shift at the moment within yourselves. Like, it's changing the way that you want to dress, the way that you want to show up, the way that you want to communicate, the kinds of conversations, the kinds of connections that you're wanting to have. And also, even just from a particular period, right? It's like there's an awareness of not just want, right, but need, right? The requirements of the soul, right? What the soul truly needs. Now, there's stages, right? There's different levels and different stages when we're talking about these dynamics of healing and relationships. Now, this doesn't matter whether it's romantic relationships, family relationships, friendships. Okay, this can apply to all areas, but there is different categories, right? And you are going to be faced with what would appear to be challenges or tests, or more so opportunities to gauge where you're actually at in your journey. Okay, are you really ready? Now, there are those of us that for quite some time here have probably thought, yeah, we're ready, right? But are we really ready, right? Spirit made me question this. Spirit also gave me a level of insight into which I didn't have before. Okay, that was held back for a particular reason, collective, right? There's a particular element that when you get to the fourth stage, okay, the fourth stage opens up, and it's like where literally like your heart chakra finally just cracks open, and the wisdom of that opening up, right, is again quite profound. So I've got a lot that's written down. Spirit had me channel a lot of it. So just to, again, make sure that I've got some sort of, again, because this needs to be done in stages, just like the way that this kind of needs to be explained. So we're going to go through, we're going to start with, again, so, Spirit's like, just take one bit at a time, right? Again, take one bit at a time. If you are not open to truly cracking open your heart and soul, there are going to be things in this reading that will challenge you, will pose as a challenge to your perceptions, to your mentality, to the very fiber of your being, okay? That is exactly what Spirit want, okay? They want you to question what you're holding in as truth right now, okay? Whether it's, on levels of, wherever the level you're on, right? Whichever timeline you're on, wherever you're at, this is going to make you question your reality right now and how much you truly want to loved, be surrounded by love, embody the true vibration of love. And if you're actually ready for what you deem to be the ultimate in connections, right? There are some of you that, are sitting in this space where you truly believe that you are ready for love. And unfortunately, collective, Spirit needs to shatter that for you guys, right? It's like, hello, beautiful. You're finally in one of my lives. And here I am hanging out, waiting, after midnight to get into, guys, go follow, if you guys are Leos in particular, please go follow Fiery Falcon. She is a fantastic Leo. I know you do other signs, but she is a fantastic Leo reader, a Leo herself. I'm guessing she doesn't have a Leo Mercury placement because, we know how Leo up in here can kind of get with her Mercury Leo, but she is absolutely fantastic. And I look forward to collaborating with you very, very soon. The energy again is shifting, so we're clearing out some energy of some things that were kind of going on, lessons that I had to kind of go through in order to pass that on to my beautiful collective here. But guys, please do go follow. She is amazing, right? She utilizes a lot of her gifts, and I definitely can see that she's going to probably have a lot more starting to crack open over the course of time as her channel starts to grow. Yes, yes, you saw food, Ralph. Of course, Ralph is always going to be there for the food. All right, babies, let's get into this because this is wholesome, right? This is some really deep shit, right? Spirit's like, I just had to get a bit of permission there because I don't want to not also deliver this message in a way that is authentic to the way that I like to speak, right? So Spirit, I like being mindful of how I speak, but also I'm allowed to kind of throw my f-bombs and my profanities in where necessary, right? But prepare yourselves, right? Because again, the next 4 to 5 months are going to start to highlight some things that are going to challenge your perceptions on how truly ready you are for love. Okay. Now, there are some of you guys that could be in relationships right now that what I'm about to say or some of the things that I'm going to say are potentially going to shatter you, right? They're going to, and again, because we wanting to reach a place where the collective are no longer stepping into connections or situations where either we become hurt or we allow ourselves to engage with others who are hurt to then continue on that vibrational frequency. So, for those of you guys that have been single and celibate for quite some time, very much standing in your I don't need nobody, right? I want, but I don't need. We're going to cover all of that, but we're going through all the levels, all the layers today. But this shift is going to, begin quite soon for a lot of you guys. You could be seeing this playing out already. You could just be kind of feeling like this, almost this longing for understanding of why certain things are the way they are, when certain things are coming in. For a lot of you guys, you've been sitting in 9 of Cups energy, you want the 10 of Cups, but let me tell you guys, the 10 of Cups doesn't come on your own, right? The 10 of Cups is legacy, is family, is unity, right? So the 10 of Cups can only come when you start to recognize that you need the 10 of Cups, not you want the 10 of Cups. You need it. There's a need for it, right? You can't have one without the other. Just as within ourselves, we cannot have our masculine energy without our feminine energy, right? We as human beings are by nature meant to be together, right? It's not about want, it is about need, right? Humanity, man, woman, right? Feminine, masculine, need each other, okay? It's a matter of need. It's not just a matter of want. I will explain to you guys, though, why the energy of need and wants, right, is reversed when you're at a prior stage. And it's Spirit telling me it's a vital phase because of what it teaches you in that moment. It's really about analyzing here and being really committed to looking at what it is that you truly need to change. Okay. It's a time to check in with where you're at. And to prepare yourself, right? To prepare yourself for the next phase, whether you're at group 1, group 2, group 3, or whether you're in group 4, right? There is a preparation phase that's hitting here for those of you guys that are manifesting new connections, right? For some of you guys, even the new connections that you are going to manifest are going to see you, unfortunately, if you are essentially in group 1, group 2, and you are unable to shift out of group 3 between now and that period, you will go through another cycle of needing to learn those lessons in order to get there. Okay. So this isn't to say, again, like it's a new beginning. Everyone is going to get a new beginning, but that new beginning for each of us is going to be different depending on the level of work that you've actually completed here. Okay. Not what you think, not what right. You are going to be clearly shown because it is going to show up in your world so obviously, right? In the way that connections are forming, the way that you're able to maintain boundaries and see what is or isn't right in front of you, right? So again, everyone's having their new beginning, right? But the new beginnings are going to be different for whichever group you're in. So again, we're going to start with group 1 and we're going to get through and explain what group 1 is. Group 1 are those of you that unfortunately are the group that some of us psychics, mediums, intuitives are unfortunately no longer able to resonate with. Okay, where you're going to see a lot of us readers start to move away from reading your energy, from wanting to engage with the energy. A lot of us don't have those kind of people in our physical space. These are the settlers, right? These are the people that are in bad relationships, but they don't want to leave. Dating or in situationships where they're not in alignment with their values, just filling the voids, filling your time. You could be a third party in a third party. You could be the type of person that's cheating, right? You are group one. Okay, group one, unfortunately, Spirit says, until you are ready to face the truth, there is nothing out here that can help you. There is a level of denial here within group one, and I would hate to think that we've got group oneers here, right? I doubt there's a group one on my channel, right? You might be cross watchers that come in and, you know, try to get info on your group two or your group 3X that was able to see the truth, right? That had that profound awakening within them that moved them on to the next stage. Okay. Yeah. Stage one, stuck. We're calling it the settlers, right? Settling. Okay. Settling for our shitty behaviors, our toxicities, our codependencies, our excuses, our projections, right? Our controlling issues, all of that, right? It's an energy that unfortunately we can't help, right? Not even group twos, group three, group four, right? You need to eliminate friendships like that. If you've got friends like that in your life, you are who you surround yourself in. This is why I can no longer read past energies, right? This channel is going to be changing. I thought I needed to make 2 channels. No, it's just that I need to keep going with the direction that the energy is flowing with. So this channel is going to be changing. It's not going to be split into two different channels to read 2 different energies, because I can no longer resonate with or have anybody that sits in a group 1 energy anywhere near me, right? Interestingly enough, I have maintained a distant kind of friendship with a particular energy that is in group 1. And recently that person has reached out multiple times. And unfortunately, I don't even have the will to want to respond. There is no part of me that even wants to respond to this person, not because I don't care, it's because I've spent so much time trying to assist, alert, and awaken this energy that I no longer have the energy to give that, right? If you are in group 1, I clearly suggest that you really look at yourself, your life, your values, what it is that you want, right? But there is nothing here for you. There is nothing here for you. Not on this platform anywhere is there going to be anything healthy that's here for you. Not on my channel, not on anybody's channel. It doesn't matter whether you're just a basic toxic tarot reader, whether you are some of the most amazing channels, right, that are out here, right? You are not going to get anything up on this platform until you start to recognize just how much you are the problem in your own reality, okay? In your own world. And until you see that it's you, there is nothing that any of us can do to help you, right? I know, because I used to be there. I used to be that person. We've all been that person. We've all been in group 1, right? We've all been there because it's the first stage after, getting into relationships after having childhood traumas and all that stuff, right? Without building yourself up truly and knowing yourself truly, right? A lot of us have gone into group 1, okay? A lot of us said goodbye to it quite a long time ago. And then we moved on to group 2, right? The deep healing, the, leaving a relationship, situationships, needing to do some really, really deep healing, right? Needing to clear karmic lessons. Find your ground zero, okay? Just find your ground zero of like the tower, right? Blowing the shit up, okay? But even after blowing the shit up, group 2 still has rubble, okay? That's when you have to start getting the bulldozers out to clear out the rubble, to clear out the dirt, right, the land, so that eventually you can move on to group 3, okay? So group 2, you are often teetering on the edge of desperation still, wanting to be loved, okay? But Spirit are trying to tell you, you need to clear out the rubble before you can get to stage 3, group 3, okay? And get me wrong, group 3 brings its own tests, right? Group 2, you've got to clear out the rubble, okay? The tower has blown, baby, but you've got to get all that shit off the land, okay? Get it all off, get it all out. Flat level, right? You've got to flatten that soil out before you can pour any kind of foundation on it, right? This is ground zero, okay? That's where you guys need to focus. Stop focusing on anything that's more than that, okay? Even if you try to build some type of long-term sustainability if you do not clear out the rubble, I'm telling you, that rubble will infect your foundation, okay? You cannot build a foundation on top of that rubble. It's going to be uneven. It's going to be rocky. It's not going to sustain, okay? So you need to clean the land, okay? Get to ground zero. When you get to ground zero, that's when you move on to group 3. Group 3 is where a lot of you guys are right now. Okay, a lot of you guys that I've worked with, read for, a lot of people that I do private readings for, coach, things like that. You guys have managed to clear out a lot of the rubble. There may have been, like, you know, by the side of the block, right, like a little pile over here, right, that, you know, just kind of needed to be swept away. But you've been doing that in and amongst the process of laying the foundation, okay? It's like you've dug all the trenches, right? You've laid all the pipes that you're going to need, all the things that you're going to need to then pour that slab, right? Again, I am talking about this in building terms, right? Because this is probably the most easiest metaphor that most of you guys would be able to recognize at this stage of life. That's going to make sense, okay? That's right. The 3D psychological debris, right? Absolutely. Group 3 is all about successful independence, stability. Again, a good foundation that, you know, is there, that you can then, you know, you want 1 story, you can build it. You want 2 stories, you can build it. You want 20 stories, you can build it, right? You can build a fucking skyscraper on the foundation that group 3 are having to lay, right? That's how solid it's needing to be right now. Now, I am going to address, again, now Spirit telling me to split the energy here. Let's talk about Divine Feminine Group 3 energy, all right? And then we're going to move into Masculine Group 3 energy. Spirit, yeah, just bear with us, right? Because it's a lot. There's a lot to kind of go through here, but it's going to start making sense, especially more of you guys for Group 3, right? Because I know, I mean, if you are still in group 2 and you've been on my channel for a while here, let me tell you, you've not been paying attention. You have not been listening. You have not been putting in the work. You have been, unfortunately, looking for answers in places where you're not going to find them, okay? Until you truly start to, like, open up your ears, open up your heart, open up your eyes, right? Open up your reality and actually get to stage 3, you haven't been paying attention to what anyone's been saying, anything that's been set up in here. Because I know how much I have encouraged. I know how many tools, how many suggestions, right? Whether things have worked for me, not worked for me. I have walked you guys through my own personal journey from rock bottom, right, to where I'm currently at, right? I have told you and exposed to you my personal history, right, of the intricacies of my own downfall, for you guys to be able to have done something with that, right? I have poured in time and time and time again into some of you energies, which is funny. I've noticed that since I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, or the other week, that I will no longer read for energies when I do my live free reads. If you keep asking me the same questions, you keep presenting with the same fears, I do not want you in my energy. I can no longer give to people that do not want to take the message and utilize it, right? It's exhausting. I have people here that are in group 3, right, that are needing me to elevate to group 4 to, again, help them, bring them there, right? I can't do that when I'm still focused on group 2, repetitively giving the same messages. So I'm sorry, group 2, but if that offends you, right, I'm not the channel for you, okay? Go see a therapist, go read some books, right? Go look in the mirror, right? And find your truth, okay? I can no longer give and give and give and give, right? Do you know where that would put me? That puts me back into group 2, maybe even group 1, or maybe even at group 0, right? Because that kind of behavior, right, of overgiving is a toxic trait of me from my past that just needs to play nice, to be accepted, to not, you know, I don't need acceptance when I accept myself wholeheartedly. Therefore, I don't need the acceptance of group 2 and being polite and giving my energy. So unfortunately, group 2, unless you're going to truly listen to the messages when you are given them and take action to get yourselves to group 3, I can't keep giving to certain energies that have been coming into my live streams and getting over and over the same question answered, right? Go do the work. before you come back, and you are more than welcome to come back when you are ready to embrace group 3, okay? When you are ready to embrace your successful independence, right? Where you truly recognize your worth. I'm tired of people in these spaces, right, going, I know my worth. But do you really? Do you really truly know your worth, right? Do you really truly know your worth? And I will give an example. When I've had people on this channel talk to me about knowing their self-worth and their healing, right? But they are instigating, right? By getting drunk, right? Instigating text messages to their exes, right? Trying to get a rise or trying to get, right? You've got no idea about your fucking worth, right? Because at no point does somebody who knows their fucking worth go behaving like that and instigating, right, a situation that will only cause more hurt, more drama, more pain, dragging out the energy, right? That is not even close to where group 3 is at, right? So for those of you guys that truly think that you're there, you're not. Those energies that I've just described, and again, if this is triggering you, spirit don't care. I certainly don't care, because it's no skin off my nose what you do, right? I do what I do, right? I help the people that are ready to be helped. But group 1, definitely not on my scope of anything. Group 2, I'm just going to trigger the fuck out of you, because when I call it out and eventually I ban you or block you from my energy, my channel, you are going to have to face that truth eventually, whether it's with me or somebody else. Or, you know what? You can continue to do whatever the fuck you want if that's what you want, right? But be realistic, right? Do you actually want to heal, or you just want to dress it up as something, okay? So if I offend you, good, be offended, okay? I'm not going to offend people who are in group 3, and I'm certainly not going to offend those who are in group 4, because both of you groups are going to comprehend exactly what I'm saying, because you've been there. You've been there to know your own resistance to wanting to change, to wanting to, oh yeah, I'm happy to break up because I've had enough, because I'm so broken, or shit's fallen apart, or it's become so chaotic that there's been no other option but to separate from energies, right? You guys understand that, right? You know the pity party, it's everybody else, it's not me. No, the common denominator in all our failed relationships, right? When we get to group 3, we get there because we know it's us, right? We've gotten to group 3 because we know it's us. We've gotten to group 4 because we know what we've had to do in group 3, right? Again, you can't walk before you crawl, right? And some of you guys think that you're walking out here, living it up, but you're talking a big game. And there are those of us that see straight through it. Our soul, our spirit, our higher selves. Those of you in group 3, right? Again, there's been a lot of challenges that are presented to you guys in group 3 that have given you where you feel it, you're like, something's off, right? That is why you guys are going to slowly progress to group 4 if you haven't done so already, right? Some of you guys, you're very, very close to that switch over, right? A few of you guys around me, we've already made that next phase, that next step, right? We're already at the group 4 energy, which is what we would technically call the last phase before unity, right? The last phase before. It's the completion of your personal stability, right? Reclaiming your personal stability, your personal power. Now, when you have 2 people, right, that are in group 4, what do we get? We get a number 8, okay? We get the evolution, the transformation, the death and rebirth, okay? This is where joint abundance, joint stability comes in. This is what leads you to the true 10 of cups, the true 10 of pentacles, right? That's where you're going to get to that stage. Divine Feminine, those of you in group 3, there's been a absolute need for Divine Feminine to have to fend for herself, protect herself, build her self-worth, okay? You have needed to sit in a far more heavier masculine energy in group 3, which group 3 is, again, building self-worth, self-sustained, sufficient. I don't need anyone. I'm good alone, but you know, I might want somebody, okay? You have emphasized probably both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine in group 3. I don't need, right? But I'm going to tell you something that's going to become a reality soon for you guys, right? As you start to progress, you know, and truly understand the energy of who and what we are, right? And this is what I mean. For some of you guys in group 3, this is going to challenge you guys, because I know a few of you on a personal level will truly believe that I'm good on my own. I don't need anybody, right? But the truth is that you do. It is the nature of humanity and the energy, right? Again, you can't have one without the other. I'm not talking about people who just like, if love is not your thing, right? These messages are not for you, man. I don't even know where you sit in the vibration of anything, right? But if it's love in the matter of like deep, solid friendships, right? Deep connections with like love, like partners, like marriages, that sort of, man, like, I mean, marriage is a construct, a legal construct by man. Just let's just say in the matters of love, right? Like partnerships, love, friendships, or family, right? But for those of you guys who are like, I don't need nobody, like you isolate yourselves, you don't see family, you don't have friends, you don't get on a level with anybody, I'm not even sure what to tell you, right? You have a very closed heart space. And whilst you might not be running around hurting toxic people and things like that, you are emitting an energy, right, that the whole collective still picks up on. We are all one, right? The frequency is still present on this planet within the collective, right? So I'm not even sure what to do with you. Spirit don't even know what to do with you, okay? Because it's like you've lost all heart there. You might have morals, right? You might have, things like that, but the heart is so closed off and so locked down that we don't know what to do either. Spirit does not know how to help you either, okay? Don't know. We don't know. Now, Divine Feminine, this whole need for you to have been in that space and the energy of I don't need a man has come for two reasons, right? And I'm going to explain it to you. First of all, you've needed to be able to maintain some really strong boundaries in not allowing yourself to settle, to allow yourself to get too deep into any connection where it starts to turn into exactly what you've already been through, okay? It's given you a testing ground, right? So for some of you guys, you're in group 3, you might have started new businesses. You guys have been pouring into yourselves, okay? No longer needing validation, just really knowing who the fuck you are and being okay in your own skin. But there's been this protective layer that you've had to sort of maintain here. And for some of you, you've had to maintain this for your entire childhood, especially those of you that are quite psychic, medium, healers, right? Especially those of you that are healers have had to really in this period learn how to utilize that divine masculine energy in order to protect your intuitive abilities, right? Those of you that are especially psychic, that have been dealing with the psychic attacks, right? We've been standing in such a staunch masculine energy, right? Telling every which energy to fuck off out of our space, because if we haven't been able to protect our own heart, our own physical space, to be able to bring in that energy, right? Then who's there, right? And this is where, for those of you that comprehend that on a deeper level, this is the right hand over the heart, okay? This is the energy of divine masculine that is there to protect, right? So that you, right, can bring in and send out love, right? But you can't protect yourself and provide for yourself and nurture and this and that and da-da-da-da-da-da, right? You can't do it all forever, right? You can't. You were never meant to, Divine Feminine, okay? You need your divine counterpart in order to protect your heart, to lead you out of harm's way, okay? To guide in that aspect of direction, of action, so that you are able to sit in your true divine feminine energy, okay? You cannot get to a true divine union until you accept that you do need a masculine, right? You do. You need him. You need him to protect your heart. You need him to hold you when the overwhelmingness of the pain of the energies around you, right, become hard, right? He needs to be there to shelter your heart, to make sure that you're safe, to make sure that you have a space where you are protected so that you can do the nurturing, the loving, right, that you are designed to do. You can't forever be so heavily in both energies. Divine Feminine, you are becoming exhausted, right? You are becoming physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted. The pains of the weight of the world, right? Of you having to carry the masculine energy of protecting, providing, right? Mother, father figures all around, right? For some of you ladies, I know how much you guys do, right? And it is so fucking admirable. It is so admirable that you have had such a deep strength and resilience to even get yourselves to group 3. Because let me tell you, there are not a lot of women that can get to group 3 and truly hold a boundary line and not settle for just okay. Okay, so because there might be some people that are like, oh, but I'm in group 3 and I've got, really? Are you really looking at the current relationships that you are in? Do you understand the kind of discipline that it has taken for some of these women, right, to maintain their single life, their celibacy, they're not agreeing to just being with somebody, right, who they know is going to lead them astray? That takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage, because they are having to draw upon their own masculine energy day in, day out to like fend off, suitors who want to get in divine feminine energy because they themselves are unable to do the work to heal themselves, right? We're going to get into that in a minute, masculines, right? But for this side, divine feminine, you need your heart to be protected. You need your space to be protected so that you are able to truly heal and nurture your family, your friends, the people that you work for with, right? But you can't do it alone. You can't, right? And until you sit in a true space of recognizing and understanding, you need him, right? You need him to hold you when things get rough, right? When things are overwhelming, when it's, just as much as he needs your love. He needs to be able to love you, to hold you, okay? Both need each other in order to have a true divine, right? We're not talking about a union, right? For those of you guys that want true divine union, 12-12 energy, 10-10 energies, right? 11-11 energies, right? 11-11 energy is true divine energy, right? It's not just a relationship that, we're not talking about our parents' era where people stayed together just because you don't get divorced, okay? Oh, and it's all, it's like clockwork and everything's, right? It's so mechanical. It's not divine. Start to recognize the difference in truth of what is divine and what isn't, okay? Is it magical? Is it magical? Does it hold depth, right? Does it literally set your fucking soul on fire every time you think about it? Regardless of whether it's a good day, a bad day, or this, that, right? If it's not divine, right? The divine is magic, right? It's the unseen. It's the things on a third dimensional level that we just can't perceive when we haven't actually cracked open all of those chakras, right? When your chakras aren't wide open, I'm telling you, you will be unable to comprehend this concept, right? Of what true divine love truly fucking looks like. It's not the opportunity. It's not the idea. It's not potential. It's none of that. It's what actually is, okay? And very few of us, in fact, in our lifetime, have ever seen it, experienced it, or even know what it truly feels like to be in it, okay? But if that is where you're wanting to get to, then you are going to need to recognize this truth, divine feminine, that you need to recognize that you can no longer speak out into existence that you don't need him, okay? Your masculine, your true divine masculine needs to know that you need him. You need him to fulfill his role in the energy, to fulfill his obligation, right, in the connection. You need that. And until you can get to that, I'm sorry to say that divine feminine, even those of you that are standing solid in that, you are never going to get a true divine union until you start to recognize the need for each other, okay? There is a need for each other. It's not just about want. Yes, want is great, right? But until our core needs are being met, and this is the thing, this isn't like, this is just what it is. This isn't opinion. This isn't speculation, right? This is the nature of divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine energy, okay? That's just the nature of it. It's simply just the fucking nature of it. There's going to be people on here that are like, oh, that's your opinion. No, it's not fucking opinion. And the spirit want to say that it's not fucking opinion. This is spirit speaking through. This is 10 pages of channeling of deep, profound shifts, right, that I've had to go through within myself to allow this to even come through, right? This is not a personal thing of anything, right? So you can either take this on board and truly recognize that this is truth in your heart and your fucking soul and get to level 4 where you are going to, everything's going to crack wide open. Or you can stay stuck in your limited mind, small set, right? In your small mindset in group 3 where you're doing all right. But do not try and tell the divine what divine looks like, okay? The divine don't care what you think. The divine are telling me this is what it is. This is actual factual. You want actual factual, right? This is actual factual. This is actual factual. You cannot, divine feminine, keep speaking out, I don't need a man, right? If you truly want a divine masculine, you need to call in, I need my divine masculine. I need my divine masculine so that I am able to fully step into my divine feminine energy and fulfill the purpose and my path that I'm here for, right? Until you can speak that out and that be a truth, right? That you are comfortable with, okay? It's about being comfortable with the truth here. How comfortable are you going to be with that truth? That you need your divine masculine in order to truly be a divine feminine, a fully embodied, a full-fledged, right? A top tier true divine feminine. You need your divine masculine. Gregory, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not even going to get to level 4 because of that perception. Now, this is a prime example, right? And I'm sorry to have to use you as an example, but Spirit, I like, this is great, right? This is great. This is exactly the energy I'm talking about. Who out of the divine feminines here who can resonate with, you've been at group 3, okay? You've been at group 3 and you are transitioning to group 4. Do you need a Gregory who's got like $40,000 right now? Tell me what's that price for? Is that the price of her ticket? Is that the price that ticket costs of divine feminine? Are you working at it? Are you building? Have you got the momentum growing, Gregory? Okay. This isn't about as well, like, again, there's a fine line between, you know, people having absolutely fucking nothing and the idea that they're going to build to something, right? I'm sorry, but if you don't even have your finances in check, right? You are not succeeding in life. You are not getting opportunities. I'm sorry, but you're not even in fucking group 3, right? And I know there's a particular energy because, yeah, the hairs on the back of my spine are standing up, right? Like I feel the little micro hairs standing up on my spine like it would with a dog. There's an energy, or there's going to be particular energies, right, that I know on a personal level that are going to listen to some shit here and have some really strong opinions about they thinking that they're in group 3. You're not in group 3. You're still in fucking group 2 because you don't know how to sustain anything yet, right? If you don't have like sustainability, right? Stability right now in just day to day on baseline, right? I'm telling you, you're not even in group 3, right? So get that out of your head that you're even going to get to group 4. You're not even fucking close to it, right? It's not about having millions and this and that, right? It's about you've already stabilized all the ideas. They're moving, they're growing, they have progress, momentum, right? So explain to me, Gregory, right now, why you need 40,000. And if you can give me a reasonable explanation, then I'll agree. Sure, you're in group 3. You're in group 3, ready to get to group 4. But you're don't even worry about group 4 yet because you're missing the mark right now on group 3, okay? You are putting your value based off of a numerical figure, right? Not off of anything else, right? What else is there, right? What else? If there's only money there, right, and you think the divine feminine only want money to offer, let me tell you, divine feminine need far more than just money, right? We've been out here getting it on our own, Gregory, right? We've learnt to value a man who works hard through us having to embody our own masculinity. We know when a man's truly working hard. We know it. We see it. We've had to be it, right? We've had to do it for so long to protect ourselves from men that have literally fuck all, live day to day, week to week, right? That can't get anything off the ground, right? Group tours, right? And a lot of you guys in group 3 have experienced group tours trying to latch onto your energy, right? Because you're more stable than they are, divine feminine, right? That's why you've experienced that. For some of you guys on a personal level, you've seen how things are played out in my own reality, haven't you? Right? Yes, when you feel like you need this, need that, right? Again, this is what I'm saying, Gala, there's a particular energy is going to think they're in group 3, ready for group 4. Let me tell you, right? Don't even trip out here. You're in group 2 and I needed to recognize that so I could shift into the energy of group 4, right? But when you don't have your day-to-day runnings, right? When you're living day to day, week to week, you don't have anything that you're actually building and working on and growing and all of that. I'm sorry, but you're not in group 3. You're tripping. Right? You are just trying to tell yourself you're somewhere you're not because you want to feel better about it without doing the work, right? But Gregory, have you got any kind of explanation, right? Because there we go. Just wish what I could. But what, Gregory, I'm telling you, you're not even in group 3, darling. I'm sorry to say that, but you need to take a step back. I just wish I had da-da-da-da-da. You don't even have yourself right now. You haven't even cleared out the rubble yet. I'm sorry to say that, Gregory, but Spirit are telling me you have not even cleared out all the rubble yet. Because your perceptions of what you think you need, you want, you this, you're that, right? You're coming from a space of fear and doubt. You are coming from a space of fear and doubts, right? Oh, but if I don't have this and I right? You are not going to manifest a divine feminine, not on any level, right? You're probably going to manifest more toxic women, right? Needy people that are codependent still, right? Because listen to the way that you're speaking it out. The universe, again, what you speak out is so important, okay? Again, so many people are missing the fucking mark here. It's ridiculous, right? And then we wonder why we keep going around in cycles and circles and da-da-da-da-da, right? And we keep having these shitty connections, right? It's because we have been fucking kidding ourselves for far too long, right? And I'm sick of readers and people being divine unions, divine connections, divine this, divine that, divine... Man, if you're not coming out as Emperor energies, right, on the tables in those cards, like if it's not coming out matches, there's any other toxic shit that's coming out there, right? I'm telling you, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and it's the thought, right? It's the energy of thought that you guys are being presented that's keeping you stuck, right? You're not looking into this realistically with your actual fucking third eye, right? With your spiritual eye, right? You're just looking at it on a third dimensional level. But Gregory, you're not even at group 3 yet, darling. So take a step back, okay? Start to look at what and where does that perception come from? Where do there's wounds there that you still need to clear. I just want and need it the energy, right? I can pick up on the energy, and it doesn't matter how far across the fucking world you are, right? And I know there's a lot of people in here that can vouch for my skills and my gifts. I can feel the energy. You're in group 2, okay? You're in group 2, and until you start to recognize the truth of the fact that you are in group 2 and you still need to clear, right, the rubble and get to a baseline, because you don't know your self-worth. You're basing your whole self-worth right now on one thing. $40,000 and your want and need for a girlfriend, right? That is not what makes you a man, okay? If you haven't gotten to the stage where you've got $40,000, Gregory, it's because you still haven't led yourself correctly in life, okay? It's because you're probably still making moves, right? And doing things that fulfill your low vibrational needs. Gambling, smoking, spending money on bullshit, right? Scrolling, doom scrolling, right? But not actually doing the healing, right? Looking back, digging deep, right? It takes a lot to dig deep into one's childhood, right? And bring up all those wounds and bring up all that pain, right? And get to a point where you are solid within oneself, right? Like those that are truly in group 3 and group 4, right, aren't in a space of I just want and I need this to have that to da-da-da-da. They're like, I've got all this going for myself, right? And, you know, when it comes in, but I don't need it, right? I don't need it. I want it, but they already have all of that there, right? They already have all of that there. So just you speaking out, you're not even in group 3, okay? Because group 3 is already well beyond that. They're already self-sustained. They're sufficient. They are making the moves, right, that they've wanted to make their entire life, right? That is one example that Spirit are trying to again, get across here. That is a valid and important thing that's just happened here in this chat, because without that, you guys wouldn't recognize the example, okay? So for those of you that are going to hear this on the replay or whatever, right, it's that. If you are still sitting in that energy, I need this, to do that, you're not in group 3. You need to go back to group 2 and start to recognize that you are the one that's creating the lack and the limitations. You're the block. It's not magic, it's not this, it's not that, it's you. It's you refusing to see the fucking truth here, okay? Get your spiritual glasses on. Open up your eyes, right? Truthfully, spiritually, third dimensionally, right? You want to get there? You can, but you have to do what the divine are trying to tell you to do here, okay? There's no fucking other way. There's no shortcuts, there's no quick fix, there's no nothing. Unless you want to sell your soul out, right, to the dark side to get ahead, by all means, go for it. But do you think that you're actually going to have divine anything? No. You are going to end up in a very dark place, right? Reliving a very karmic, toxic cycle, right? Your soul is going to have to repay that karma at some point, right? Group 3 masculines, okay? Let's talk about trust. Let's talk about trust. There is nothing right now while you are in group 3 that divine feminine can give you to reassure you that she won't harm you, right? That she is worthy, right? You need to drop the fear, okay? You need to drop the fear. Group 3 divine feminines, right? They don't need your money. They don't need your approval. They don't need your validation, okay? They don't want to control you. They don't want to manipulate you. They don't want to use you. They don't need to lie to you, okay? They are wholesome on their own, right? They are wholesome on their own. They're fine exactly where they're at, except for the fact that they're in a mindset where they don't need you, right? And that makes you feel insecure, right? That is making you feel insecure. When you truly come across a group 3, we feel both on a group 3 level, I'm telling you. Group 3 divine masculines, right? You guys are fucking shit scared of divine feminine that's in group 3. And you don't need to be, right? You don't need to be. Because the second that she shifts out of group 3 and you shift out of group 3, well then two people's heart chakras fucking open and wide, right? And true love, true trust, true reciprocity. This isn't about domination. It's not about control. It's about walking the path side by side with that balance, right? You need to stop holding back, okay? The longer you hold back, the longer you hold yourself back from what it is that you exactly want. You can't keep walking around with this I'm all good chip on your shoulder shit. Are you really all good? Or do you need to be able to be recognized when you get home from a hard day's work, from everything that you put your energy and your effort to? Who's there to be proud of you at the end of the day? Who's there that you walk through the door and are happy that you've done and fulfilled your role? Is there anybody there? What are you working so hard for? You might as well just chill out, kick back, do the bare fucking minimum. You as a masculine are inherently designed to protect and to provide for divine feminine and for your children, right? For those that you love. But what are you working so hard for if you're not working towards opening yourself back up, okay? You want to heal, right? But you can't do it in a toxic space of taking it, right? It's not like and I'm going to say it like this, right? We're not here to be your mothers, okay? We're not here to mummy you. Because when we have to mummy you, we become above you in that sense. And then you feel emasculated. It's not healing. It's never been healing. And you need to recognize that's not healing, okay? True divine feminine loves you, sees you. We comprehend how fucking hard you have to work. That is why true divine feminine, who's about to step over into level 4, group 4, right? Knows how to respect you, knows how to honor you, knows how to value you, knows how to cherish you, knows how to give back that in which you've been seeking and craving and you've desired your entire fucking life, right? But if you can't learn to trust it, if you can't learn to step up and take lead, well, then we don't even know what you're out there working for, right? Because let me tell you, divine masculine, in group 3, you can't take that shit with you when you die, right? Who's going to remember you for it? Where's your legacy? Who are you leaving it behind to? What's it all for? It has no purpose. It has no purpose. A man who has nothing but money has no purpose, right? The whole sole reason why it is so ingrained within you to go after it, to be a boss, to be a leader, right? To be on top, right? It is because you're meant to be leading something else there with you, okay? So otherwise, what are you working so hard for? What are you trying to achieve here? I know I'm right, Timothy, because the divine have channeled this through me. I'm channeling right now. This isn't something I've sat and thought about for a million. Like, this is a download I had 3 days ago. What is the fucking point, right, of having all the fucking wealth in the fucking world if you've got no one to enjoy that with, right? If you can't give a house, right, to somebody to turn it into a home, it's forever just going to be a house. It is forever an empty blank canvas, right? That is sterile. It's cold, right? Are you selfish, divine masculine? Because true divine masculine are not selfish. True divine masculine are selfless, right? You want to truly call yourself divine and masculine and feel like boss daddy, right? You want to feel like the leader. You want to feel like the emperor. There's only one way to fucking get there, right? It's by truly fulfilling the role to its entirety, right? What's the point of having an empire, right, if there's no one there? Whose empire even is it? No one even knows that it's an empire if there's nobody there to worship the emperor, right? If there's nobody there to give praise to the emperor, is he even an emperor if nobody knows he's there? No, you just are, right? You're not truly an emperor until you are recognized as such, because you are ruling an empire in which you are, right, like respected, recognized, appreciated, nurtured, loved, all of those things. Otherwise, you're in like no man's land, right? It's like invisibility, right? What's it all for if it's not for the people that you love? If it's not there to be shared, who's it for? What's it for? It's there then only to fulfill a void, right, in which you are refusing to look at, that needs healing. If you cannot open up your heart and soul to divine feminine, then in divine's eyes, you're not an emperor, right? And I mean, spirit are like that because they even hate that term, right? They hate that term because these terms are just, again, like labels and things and whatever that satisfy our need to accept that, oh, I'm good where I'm at, right? But are we? Are we truly good with where we're at? So divine masculine, do you want to be valued? Do you want to be truly respected? Do you want to feel that? Because if you do, you're going to have to first learn how to lead yourself correctly, right? Which, man, you're going to have to start doing that all in group 3, right? If you haven't started there, right? If you haven't done group 2, group 3, right? You're not there. I'm telling you, right? You're never going to get to group 4. You're never going to get that satisfaction, right, of walking in the door, right? When you walk home, and there are men out there that understand this, right? That the archer emperors, right? That they go out, they get it, they discipline themselves, right? They temper their emotions, and they lead, right, correctly. They lead themselves first and foremost correctly, because they know that the impact of their choices will affect everybody that they love, right? So if they can't lead themselves correctly, they can't lead their family correctly. This is why group 3 divine feminines won't fucking touch you group 2ers, right? Or you group 3ers that are fucking insecure with a 10-foot fucking pole anymore. That is why things may be so brief, or brief encounters, right? Brief relationships happen, like, you know what I mean? Because how the fuck, right? With divine feminine having to, by no choice, right? Other than because of fucking the 1% of men that rule this fucking planet, we've got no choice. What we're all supposed to be damsels in fucking distresses forever? Lower our vibration to what? Men that want to control us, that have money, right? We might as well just go throw ourselves into some sort of fucking, you know what I mean? Like, where we're trafficked as women, as objects, right? But for those divine feminines, how the fuck can you truly expect her to hand over control to you if you can't temper your fucking emotions, right? To lead yourself correctly. She can't. And until you do that, right? You're not an emperor. I'm sorry to say, the divine are telling you, you are not an emperor, right? An emperor understands his responsibility, right? He understands, right, the energy and the things that he needs to do to actually be the emperor. You could be the king, that's great, right? But the king of what? Even the castle's going to be fucking empty, right? And if the castle's empty, again, who's there to recognize you, king? Who's there to praise you for your glory, your leadership, right? Your masculinity? No one. You will never fulfill legacy, prophecy, purpose, right? Until you accept that, right? Until you accept that as truth, okay? You will never fulfill your full potential, right? And everything is a choice right now, guys. All of it is a choice. Divine feminine, divine masculine. You can choose to step into group 4 whenever you want to, or if you don't want to at all. But you want to truly call it divine. You want the divine to truly anoint it, truly to bless it. They can't if that's the energy you're still in, and they won't, right? It will never be the magic that is spoken out here, right? It'll never be, right, the way that these people prop it all up to be. The way that we read it in the stories and the cards. It can't be until it is. And if you don't want to look at that shit, and you don't want to accept that truth, then sweet. Off you go. You're doing great with where you're at. Maintain that, okay? Maintain that. Don't call upon Spirit for anything more. Do not ask for anything more. Spirit are asking more of you right now. You need to recognize it. You want more? Spirit aren't going to give it to you on a fucking silver platter right now, baby. They're not. They're not. You want abundance. You want further abundance, right? I'm sorry to say. For some of you men who are doing fine financially, you don't get it, right? There are choices that you need to make in order to do that. Because how the fuck are you as a masculine supposed to sit there and you know, do all of that and feel the things that you want to feel while you're out there doing this? You can't reach it, right? There's an abundance that you just cannot perceive that you are missing out on right now that you think is supposed to come in the forms of other things, right? If you are financially stable as a masculine right now, you're doing great right now. Like, you're not, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're hugely rich or, you know, you're not having to live day to day, week to week, right? Like, you've got stability and that stability has tracked for some time, right? Like, what you're not seeing is you are getting no further abundance until you accept, right, that the only way that you can truly get that is from that unity, right? From that. Your abundance comes from the reward, right, of seeing the happiness of the faces, right? When you walk through that door, and you get home and you see your happy wife, right? Your children are happy. Everything's warm. There's comfort. There's, you know, your partner has something to nourish you with, right? You are never going to fucking understand what abundance even means. It's not a dollar figure. It's not cents. It's none of that. It's not stuff, right? It's none of that. Your stuff is not going to speak about you when you have passed on, right? About how much of a good man you were, how wonderfully solid and protective, and how much you provided, right? For the people that you love. Your furniture, your cars, your phones, your shit, it cannot fucking speak on the behalf of you, right? And your greatness. It can't. But somebody who truly loves, cherishes, and appreciates you being a true divine masculine, truly protecting her, truly providing that space, the safe space that she needs, right? It's not just about providing money. It's about providing a safe space. It's about provision and providing of more than what your mind can fathom, because you have been conditioned, right, by 1% of the population who control the world, who have stripped away your sovereignty as a masculine, right? But that's not on divine feminine, right? The best that you're going to get in this lifetime with the way shit is running this fucking world, right, is by recognizing that you could have all the fucking riches in the world. You are still poor. You will still inherently be poor in fucking spirit, right? And you will still forever be seeking more, right? Doing bigger deals, bigger numbers, bigger this, bigger that. It will never fucking be enough. And for those of you that are disciplined enough, right, to get there, to spend all that time and doing it, right, great, you'll get there, right? But let me tell you, is that fucking millions of dollars, right, gonna speak and say how much you were loved, how much you were appreciated, how much you were respected for all that you gave, for all the effort, for all the discipline, for all the protection, for everything that you provided in that safe space? Do you think money talks, right? Do you truly think on a spiritual sense money fucking has anything to do with anything, right? You are a fucking soul, right? You are a soul. This is just a vehicle, right? You will change vehicles plenty of times, just like you do throughout a lifetime, right? Are you rich in soul? Spirit want you to stop fucking asking for shit, right? Stop asking for it. Right now, the only thing you should be doing, right, is speaking out into the universe, right, what you truly need, which is your divine feminine. You want to be respected, appreciated. You want to feel like the man. Get to yourself to group 3, right? You're stable. Learn to open up your heart. You want to be loved? Allow it in. You want it? Go get it. Stop waiting to be validated, to figure it all out, right? If you see something divine masculine that you want, are you an emperor if you don't go after it? Do you think an emperor just, goes, oh, I want that, and just kicks in and just waits for the next person to fucking take it? Do you think that's how a fucking emperor operates, right? Oh, like, I'll just kick, I'll just, see what happens. It's all good, like, right? But I want it, right? It doesn't fucking work that way, okay? And it is your choice. You don't have to. You can if you want, right? But you want more. You can't have more without having her. You can't, because you need that inspiration. You need the love, the nurturing, right? The need to want to go out and get more, right? And to actually get it comes from having that other person right there. Otherwise, you're just going to, again, forever seeking more. That's why you see men who are like millionaires, be like, they're on their own, right? And you see them with the kind of people that gravitate towards them, right? The kind of connection. It's all very low vibrational, and they keep going. Money deals and shaking hand deals and shit like that is far more important than them actually doing it for a spiritual reason of being the protector and the provider. It's greed. It's still feeling a low vibrational need. Who are you doing it for? Ask yourself. Divine feminine. You need your divine masculine to protect you, and you know it, right? You know you need that. You know that you can't soften until you have that protection. Cool. Spirit just said to me, pay attention, even Carrie, to how the tone of your voice changes. I was like, it's that, right? Divine feminine, you need to drop that guard. Recognize that you can't fulfill your divine feminine role whilst you still have to protect yourself and provide for yourself and go this hard in this world the way that you are. You're more than welcome to, right? But to attract a true divine masculine, you're intimidating, and you know that. You know that because if you know how many men that have deep feelings for you, right? That hold back, don't say anything, avoid you, right? And you feel it in the energy because divine feminine, you are intuitive. When you've gotten to level 3, your intuition, your discernment for all of that, you're so much more tapped in once you've cleared out the karma, cleared out all that shit. Things are a lot more clearer. A lot of you guys in group 3 as divine feminines, you feel so much more now. That's why you know when somebody has those fleeting moments, those fleeting feelings for you, right? But you just sit there and you go, yep, right. He needs me to step up to the plate because, right, you've been leading yourselves in such a strong masculine way, right? That is why. That is why a lot of you men right now, even in spirituality, think that, like it's like divine feminine need to open their mouths and say something. Really, do we? Are you really a king or an emperor if you don't know what the fuck you want and you can't go after it? Or you still got some shit that you need to heal, that you need to look at, that you need to recognize? Something to ponder, divine masculine, right? It's something to ponder. If you're fearing rejection, fearing this, fearing that, worrying about this, that, a emperor will fucking make it happen. An emperor will fucking create it the way that he wants it. He makes the rules, baby. Not the world around him makes the rules for him and he abides by them. He creates the world he wants to build, right? Just like he did his fucking empire, right? Just like a true emperor has, right? When we think about stories and we look at history, right? He created it. He didn't wait for somebody else to give him the rules of the limitations and the this and that. No, he dreamed big, right? And he said, this is what I fucking want. This is what I'm going to have. And he went out and got it, right? But you don't want that. You don't want the empire. Then stop claiming you're an emperor, okay? Start to recognize that you're a king at best and you're a lonely king. You're a king that has nobody to worship you. All hail the king. Nobody's hailing you. Who's hailing you if you are shut off like that? That is exactly, Dia. That is not strength. That is weakness. That is insecurity. That's fear. Are you an emperor? Does an emperor have fear? Fearless, right? These divine feminines over here have had to be fucking fearless, right? They've had to be fearless. They are doing your role. They are having to fulfill your role. While unfortunately, divine masculine, you're refusing to allow yourself to open up enough, right? To have that in which you so deeply crave. You so deeply crave the moment that you came out of your mother's womb, right? You have craved maternal energy, right? The love, the nurturing, the admiration, the adoration, right? The respect. And you want it, but you're not willing to go after it. You're not an emperor. You're not an emperor. You could be, right? But that's not how an emperor operates. An Emperor has all of that. We can't give it to you, right, just wholeheartedly, freely, willingly, while you can't even step into your true leadership. You can't lead it. You can't go for it, right? She can't give it to you because you're going to, if you need it like that in that level, right, where she has to bring herself down a little bit, right? Because you need to step up to her. If she's here, you need to step up, right? She can't step down. She can't soften, right? She can't allow herself to let you in, right? When you have to be approached, when you can't go after her, when you can't lead yourself correctly, what are you seriously not seeing it, right? Spirit's like, fuck, man, right? Divine Feminine, right? The amount of strength that you've had to have, the Divine want to commend you for it because you've had to put yourself out of the race, out of the game, out of the way, do your healing, right? You've had to heal all that shit, right? But on top of that, you've had to make money moves. You've had to go after what you want in order to sustain yourself, right? To pay the bills, to put the lights on, right? Just to survive in this world. Spirit want to commend you, right? But you need to also recognize that you do need him because you are going to get burnout. You're going to wear out. Women are going to become so much more fiercely independent, right? That you're not going to have any respect left for males around you, for men that want to approach you, right? Because you can be like, well, what do you mean, right? Like, Divine Masculine, there's only one way to feel like a fucking man, and that's to be the man, right? Be the man. But don't say you are one until you are one. Don't claim to be it, right, until you're actioning what a man does, right? And right now, I got to tell you, right, from a Divine Feminine perspective, we're not impressed. We're not impressed with your delays, with your this, with your that. The track, Drake, get it together, right? And this is the lyrics, right? So Spirit's like, get into the music because now this is going to explain it on levels which hopefully, right, on a third dimension, you're going to fucking understand, right? But the song Get It Together by Drake featuring Georgia Smith, and her verse, she says, hello, I've been hurt so many times. It got to a point where I decided I can't do this anymore. I need someone to hold me. I need someone that needs me. I need someone that loves me, right? She needs that. She needs that. But she's not about to just give it all up, right? When Drake cuts in and says, you need me to get that shit together so we can be together. Get your shit together, Divine Masculine. Get it together. Get it together. I'm telling you guys, there are some of you guys here that are at that great level, right? Where, you know, you're looking at this, looking at that, I'm telling you right now, the Divine are not going to give you the opportunities that you are not going to go after, right? You want that job, you want that girl, you want that house, you want that this. You have to go fucking get it, right? You have to drop the fucking fear. And I'm telling you, when you get past that, right, and you start to recognize, I need to protect that woman. Like, I need to. There's this calling within every fiber of my being that, like, I need that. I know that's what I need, right? I know that is what's going to give me purpose day in, day out. That is what is going to be the motivating factor for me to grow further, to build more, to have more, to bring in more abundance. At the moment, man, what motivator do you have right now other than to make yourself feel better because you don't feel like you're enough? Answer me that with something that you know, retort that with some truth, right? To the Divine. Put the Divine in their place when they say that to you, Divine Masculine, because I'm telling you now, you can't. You can't. You won't be able to. Oh yes, empresses are more than capable of rejecting whoever they need to. Anyone who's in group 3 or group 4, you will get rejected pretty quickly, right? Once your little masks have slipped, right? Once we see beyond, right, what you're fronting here, right? Shit, Divine Masculine, those of you guys that are in group 3, man, do you guys recognize there are people in group 2 fucking fronting better than you guys are? Like, they've got the balls to fucking step to group 3 Divine Feminines. They actually have the audacity, right, to fucking step to group 3 divine feminines, and you guys are in group 3 and you can't fucking get to group 4 with them? How? 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 How can you not see the fact that you are different from other energies? How? How can you call yourself an emperor when you can't make the choice, right? This is why Divine Feminine has been sitting in an energy I don't need, right? Because she's been having to fulfill herself like that. There's been no other choice. Unless you want Divine Feminine, right, to fucking just crumble and fall apart in and then you wouldn't be attracted to it. Are you going to be attracted to codependent women who fucking don't have anything, right? They don't know how to value themselves. They don't even know how to look after themselves properly. They live their life day to day based off of how good they look, how big their tits are, right? They can't fucking cook. They can't clean. They can't fucking sew. They can't nurture. They've got no fucking idea how to be an empress, right? Oh, but they look fucking good, don't they, right? Is that what you want to attract in? Is that what you truly want? Or do you truly want Divine Feminine? Do you truly want to be loved? Do you truly want to succeed? Or are you just fucking bullshitting out here, calling yourselves healed, empress, this, that, the other? I'm telling you, man, the Divine Feminine energy, we are on planet Earth. Earth is a feminine energy. Divine Feminine energy are getting fucking sick, right, and tired of waiting for that energy to bring together that unity and that healing, that level of healing. Drake says, you need me, right? He's saying this to her. You need me to get that shit together so we can be together. You need me, right? That's the lyrics. I'm going to say it again. You need me to get that shit together so we can be together. You need me, right? He can recognize, right? It's him recognizing that he needs to get his shit together because Divine Feminine fucking needs him, right? She needs him. He needs her. But if you can't get beyond that point, right, then all of it's going to be for nothing, right? You aren't going to get any more. You aren't going to get any more. You can keep building, but you are going to forever miss the true essence of what abundance is. Abundance is not a fucking dollar figure. It's not on a fucking paper bill. It's not on a fucking a coin. It's not a phone. It's not a house. It's not a car, right? True spiritual or true abundance, right? Because you think about thousands. How long has money been around, people? How long has money been around, right? Money, acquisition, all that shit, right? How long have all these things, phones, cars, all that shit been around for, right? That's modern day age shit, right? What's true value? What do you think true value was? Back when humanity, right? Back when everything was incarnated, what was it? What was here besides nature, natural things? Nothing else, right? Nothing but fucking love, right? That is abundance. That is what you're not understanding, right? Even for those of you that believe in fucking the religious text, right? Of heaven and hell. You want to get to heaven, right? But everyone thinks it's all about 3D fucking things and shit. You're missing the whole fucking point out here, right? Spiritual abundance is the only true abundance that exists. Everything else is a construct of your mind, right? That humanity made. It's not divine, right? It's not divine. But again, ask yourself, what are you aiming here for? What are you aiming here for? You want divine or do you want 3D? Do you want spiritual richness? Do you want third dimensional possessions? What the fuck do you want, collective, right? Spirit are fucking sick and tired of these messages, this bullshit, these bullshit reads and pumping you up for this and pumping you up for that, and no one recognizing the fucking inherent truth here, right? The spiritual fucking inherent truth here, right? Whilst we call this, spirituality, we call this divinity, we call this magic, and none of us up until a particular point have any fucking real clue what that actually means, right? And then when you get there, you get so frustrated because all of a sudden you recognize how far and few between those energies are, right? And that becomes sad, right? It's a sad fucking reality. There is so much, man, that Spirit gave me the other day that makes me so happy and fulfilled and so fucking sad all at the same time, because the way that the collective, right, the spiritual community collective are tracking, we're headed fucking nowhere fast, right? We are headed nowhere fast. For some of you divine feminines, you've been single for fucking far longer than I would. I honestly, my soul, I don't know, my soul couldn't make it that long. My soul could not have gotten through that because I live through the feeling of my soul. My soul speaks so much loudly than my mind has, my hurt has, my pain has. My soul has always spoken so much loudly than that. There's no way I could have made it as long as half of you women have, right? Being single like that and being like, I don't need it, and not even engaging in it, right? But I get why you haven't, right? I get it, because then every time you have, what have you come across? Either group fucking tours, right? Who think they're the fucking man, don't know how to do a fucking thing for themselves, right? Except for front, right? What the fuck is a front, right? That's potential, ideas, right? Oh, I could do, yeah? Shoulda, coulda, fucking woulda, right? If you coulda, then you shoulda, you woulda, and then you'd be in fucking group 3, and you'd be maybe a worthy match of a group 3 divine feminine, right? But you're fronting, right? Because you can see where she's headed. You want her strength. You want to feel all the things that you need to feel in yourself before you can even get to group 3. How are you going to get to group 3 when you still need fucking validation, baby? You can't, right? You can't. You're on your knees, right? You're on your fucking knees still. Finish learning how to crawl. Finish learning how to crawl, right? And when you can get up and fucking walk, start walking the fucking talk, right? Then you're going to feel more solid, right? And then you're going to build this, I'm so solid, I don't want to, you're going to then, the old little bits of trauma, right? You're going to have those reminders pop up. We all do in group 3, right? The reminders, right? The reminders for divine feminine are the reason why we maintain boundaries and cut fucking people in group 2 off, right? It's the reason why women in group 3 aren't out there fucking like, being fucking leaders in these relationships and going, hey, divine masculine, do you want to go out on a fucking date, right? How the fuck are you ever going to be a leader then? How are you ever going to feel like you're in control if we have to initiate that? You're not, right? Can you guys see the dynamic here of what the fucking holdup is? You are going to have no choice but to have to fucking recognize this, right? Because I'm telling you, for those of you, right, that divine feminine, if you are in group 3, divine feminine energy, and you make this transition to group 4, right? Before this energy of evaluation and shit has completed, I'm telling you, when the new year starts, right, and you're going to be out of reach, right? The opportunities are going to be gone, right? If you, divine masculine, cannot learn to fucking step up like that, there's going to be a whole nother fucking cycle that repeats for you guys, right? For everybody, for everything, right? What is it that you fucking need exactly? What do you need, right? You need to be led, because if you do, I'm telling you, go back a fucking step, right? Divine masculine, step the fuck up, man. Step the fuck up. You need to step the fuck up. What do you want? What do you want? You are the leader here. How do you want this to play out? You tell us what it is, right? You tell yourself and us what that is. And we shall allow you to take the fucking lead here, right? So what is it that you fucking want, divine masculine? What is it, right? Spirit's like, it's frustrating, right? Yeah, I get it, yeah. Spirit understands divine feminine, right? The frustration. Because they have been trying for fucking, how many fucking centuries, right? To wake men up, right? Wake men up. From the 1% that fucking lead the world to the rest of the fucking, there are so few actual factual true emperors who are ready to actually step into any kind of divine union, right? Because you're still so worried about this, about that, about da-da-da-da. You don't trust yourself. You've got no idea, right? What you want, how to get it, how to go after it. Don't call yourself a fucking emperor. Don't call yourself divine, right? You're just a man out here in the fucking world, right? Oh, but you want to feel good. Well, you want to feel good, right? You got to do it. We've talked about this a lot on this fucking channel, right? Spirit are like, no. Spirit aren't going to keep fucking feeding your ego, masculine, with your fucking abundances and your bullshit, right? That's why divine feminine are getting the opportunities, right? They have to. They have to get the opportunities, right? They have to. That's why you guys aren't fucking getting them. That's why there's men in competition with fucking women out here, even in this platform, right? That's why group 2 fucking men go after group 3 fucking women, right? That's why. Because the divine have had to give that to the divine feminine energy. Because not only does she have to sit there and look at her own fucking toxicity, right? Heal her own fucking heart. Hold the fucking boundary lines, but she got to do your fucking duty as well, right? Well, yeah, the divine's angry, right? Because you want. You want everything. You want opportunity. You want riches. You want that, right? But you don't want to give what you need to in order to get what you want, right? Divine's shouting it out, you masculine, right? They're shouting it at you. Because where those group 3 divine feminines are, let's be realistic, they don't fucking need you, right? You need them to need you, but you need to show, right? There's a need for you to be fucking needed, right? There isn't at the moment, right? If you can't choose, if you can't step up, if you can't heal yourself, right, in order to feel in that which you want to be and show up like that, then we don't even recognize you as a fucking emperor, do we? How are we going to see it? How are we going to know? We just know that we're boss bitching up in our own fucking dynamics, in our own world, right? But you want women to be this, to be that, to be that, to be that, right? Do you ever stop to fucking think about how you are lacking, right? And you have not protected or provided, right? Look at the fucking earth. You have 1% of the men ruling this fucking planet, raping Mother Earth of her fucking resources, right? Trading it between other fucking men. Do you understand how inherently angry the earth is? The soil, the ground in which you want to build your fucking empire upon is a feminine energy, Mother Gaia, right? Show some fucking respect for that in which you want to fucking so easily take from, right? You want to pluck the resources of the feminine energy constantly, right? But you don't want to fucking protect her. You don't want to provide her, and you want her to be fucking grateful. You want her to hand her shit over. You want the divine to hand over to you the abundance, right? Spirit says no, right? Not until you start to recognize this inherent truth. Not until you start to recognize, right, that there is only one reason why you lead. If it's not to lead divine feminine, then who the fuck is it for? Who the fuck is it for? For gratitude, for gratification, right? To fulfill your voids and your needs, right? No, Spirit won't celebrate you like that. Spirit will never celebrate you like that. Divine feminine who's in group 3 or group 4 energy doesn't need to give anyone a fucking chance, right? You either rock up as a fucking emperor or you don't. You either step fucking forward, right, as a fucking emperor, or you miss the fucking opportunity, right? Because there could potentially be a real emperor right around the fucking corner that's elevated, that comes in and is meant for that opportunity. Spirit will give it to that person. So no, she doesn't have to give anything a fucking chance, right? Men have had a fucking chance whilst ruling the fucking Mother Earth, right? Mother fucking Earth. We've given you enough chances, Spirit said, to fucking show, right, what you are as men out here. On a spiritual fucking level, are you not comprehending what the divine are trying to tell you? Oh, give us a chance. You've been given how many thousands of fucking years to prove, right, that you know how to lead correctly. Divine are telling you, you are not getting the abundance, the fulfillment that you think you're fucking out here gonna get, right? Those of you that are listening to these reads and doing this and I'm gonna get, no, right? I'm telling you right now, divine have said no, right? That is going to divine feminine, because divine feminine are having to heal themselves, heal their friends, heal this person, heal that person, maintain children, be men, be women, be fucking everything, right? And you want respect. You want more from everything, all the energy around you. You want more. What more could you possibly fucking have without giving a little, right? You've taken from the fucking earth energy, Mother Earth, right? It's an energetic thing. It's not an individual thing. Again, some of you are not going to understand on a spiritual level these concepts, right? It's because you're not meant to. Go back to your basic stuff then. Go back to regular 3D, right? We're trying to shift the fucking energy of a collective, a planet, and you think this is an individual thing, right? Then you don't understand the spirituality of this, right? Spirituality is not really for you. You're just looking for answers because you want the easy answer. Spirituality doesn't give easy answers. Spirituality is deep. It's reflection, introspection. It's digging, right? It's facing truths that on a third dimensional level, our brains, right, refuse to want to fucking see, right? It's spiritual truth, right? The gifts will be bestowed upon the people that are divine, right? When you are out here listening to this shit, these things coming in, right? And people wonder, oh, where's my this? Where's my that? Where's my this? Where's my... Why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening, right? Well, are you doing what the divine are asking you to do? Are you? Are you truly? Because when you can't recognize divine feminine as being fucking abundance, she is the portal to fucking life, right? That is where the fucking seed is planted. Divine masculine, listen up. Spirit is speaking fucking loud through me right now. If you cannot recognize you plant your seed in divine feminine and she fucking births something out of it, then you will never understand what abundance will ever fucking mean. Not on any fucking level. And if you're in this spirituality shit thinking that you're never going to fucking get it, you might as well just go be fucking lonely, empty, chase dollars and hoes, right? There you go. You're respected, right? But not for being a divine masculine, not for being a spiritual being, not for any of that shit, right? None of that. Divine masculine, if you don't plant the fucking seed, it has nowhere to fucking grow. And there's only one place it can fucking grow, with divine feminine, right? You plant a seed in this fucking earth, what pops up? Things, right? It births out of the fucking mother earth, right? It's so black and white, and yet let's complicate it. Let's complicate the simplicity of what this all is, right? Because we just don't want to look at the truth, do we? We do not want to look at the fucking truth here at all, right? But hey, let's just keep, expecting abundance, windfall, this, that, and the other, ideas, inspiration, whatever, right? Feminine energy is the creative energy. You want inspiration? It's feminine energy, right? You want healing? It's feminine energy. You want intuition? It's feminine energy, right? You want something to sprout? It comes out of the feminine energy, right? It can only give you what you give it first, right? You got to give it something first. Give it the seed. Give it protection, right? Keep it safe so that it can do what you fucking want it to do. But, it just seems to be... it's just too hard to fucking comprehend. No, it's because you have a refusal to want to fucking see the truth, right? And your refusal is also your demise, right? It's the reason why you can't get the satisfaction that you want. There's only men that understand these concepts, right? That fucking truly understand this concept, who go to fucking work and work fucking hard, come home, have all that shit, right? They get it. They fucking get it, right? It's those of you who are still walking around like, blah, 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 blah. You want more of what, right? You want more of what? Do you not understand? The creative energy comes out of the feminine. What is birthed here comes from a fucking feminine. You can't fucking get it on your own. You can get to a level on your own, and that's why you're never satisfied. That's why you're always hungry for more, right? Because you're missing that in which births everything that you fucking want. It births your children, right? Which is what carries on your fucking name, right? We birth the thing that carries on your fucking name, masculines, right? Oh, you have no idea, right? Please, somebody block that energy. You need to go back to you're somewhere here in group 2, right? Go back and listen to group 2 shit before you fucking even came onto spirituality. Your perception, right, is so you're obviously very bitter and scorned because women have either rejected you, right? Because you're insecure. You don't understand. You don't value women, right? Do you even value the fact that you have a mother and that she birthed you? Doesn't matter how she treated you, right? The energy of creation comes through feminine energy, right? Until you comprehend that shit, right? Until you learn, divine masculine, that you cannot have anything created out of nothing, right? You're never going to fucking get anywhere, right? You've got seeds, but where the fuck are you planting them? What is there to plant it in if you can't plant it in the ground, right? In the feminine energy. Basic black and white here. Spirit are like, stop fucking complicating this shit all the time, right? If you don't understand the concept and it doesn't sit truth in your soul, you are not even close to group 3. You're going to be so far off of group fucking 4. You want to get the abundance, right? You want to get there, truly fucking get there, right? Truly get there. Spirit don't care how many times I have to shout this message, man. I could shout this for the next 20 fucking years. This is my path and my purpose. And I don't mind shouting it, right? If that's how the divine enemy is shouted at you, right? I've learned to accept, and I will say thank you in a moment. I've learned to accept, right, that this is my purpose and my path, right? I'm here to help change on this planet in my lifetime, right? I will do this day in, day out. I will do this day in out. This will never frustrate me enough, right? That the truth of love and humanity and soul and healing, right, is what is what inspires me every day to get up here and do this, right? And we will do this every day, every fucking week, right? Until bit by bit by bit by bit, person by person, week by week, day by day, we see the fucking energy shift, right? But I can't tell you you're somewhere you're at when you're fucking not, right? You want more divine masculine, you need divine feminine, right? You need to trust her. You need to trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, well, you're still not going to get the abundance, because you're going to be second guessing yourself. How are you going to make a big deal, right? If you can't trust yourself to choose that, how the fuck are you supposed to trust yourself to make the next decision, to make a good choice, right? We've talked about this again before on my channel, right? If you don't trust yourself, right, forget it. Don't stop making choices. Stop making choices, because you are probably going to continue to make the ones that don't lead you to a place where you want to be. You're going to continue to get more and more disheartened about where your life's headed, where it's not fucking headed, because you don't want to accept and recognize, right, that that's the bottom underlying issue there, right? So do you trust yourself or don't you, divine masculine? Have you learned enough about yourself, your strengths, your qualities? Do you love yourself enough in order to love divine feminine, to let her in, to let her fulfill her nurturing role, to let her fulfill her creative role, her intuitive role, to give you the insights that as a masculine who is taking action will sometimes often miss, right? A woman's intuition, they say it for a reason. Do you know why, even in a game of chess, a queen sits to, or a female sits to the left side of her king? Because the left side represents the feminine, the intuitive. That is why she sits there. That is why she also protects him, right? Just in the same sense that mothers protect their children, their sons, right? We protect them. We nurture them. We nourish them. We protect them from withering, right? We give them and breathe life into them so that they can go out and get it on their own, right? So that the cycle can continue. There's only, for some of you guys, again, if you are in group 3, there's only one seed that you have left to plant, right? And it's the seed of fucking trust, right? It's the seed of trust. Trust yourself, right? Trust that you know yourself enough, that you are strong enough. Again, if emotions have to come into it because you're afraid of being rejected, you're still not there, right? Because a true emperor, a true man, a true leader will still lead himself correctly, right? No matter what the emotions, he will not let his emotions, right, impact the way that he leads himself. So he will face rejection and he will take it, right? Still knowing in his heart and his fucking soul who the fuck he is, right? That's not going to shake him, right? He knows that when he makes choices, yep, that's the decision, right? I'm solid on that decision. Because he's thought about it. He's disciplined himself. He's not flaky. He's not holding back. He's not umming and ahhing, right? He knows what he wants and he goes, right, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. Masculinity, logical, action, right? All of that. Feminine, intuitive, creative, okay? Inspirational. Do you not understand, right? Do you not understand it? Is it not making sense? Because it should. It's so black and white, and it always has been from the very fucking start. From the beginning of humanity, of existence, right? It was never meant to be this complicated. This is what we're meant to be learning here. It's not meant to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It might be. It doesn't have to be. You know what it all boils down to? Your choice, your free will. That's your power, right? That is your power in this lifetime, in this existence, in a third dimensional. That is your power. You want power? Take it. It's yours. It's black and white. Go get it. Spirit is telling me, let's get onto the last bit of this, right? Which is, you want to know what a true divine union vibe looks like, what it feels like, what the essence of it really is, right? They said, let's do it through music, right? Because music is such a beautiful vibrational frequency, right? Now, for those of you guys that like, you know, the hip hop R&B vibes, right? We've got Aaliyah and DMX, right? Come Back in One Piece, okay? The song Come Back in One Piece is, you know, look, DMX is, you know, he's out there doing his own thing, and basically she's basically saying to him that you go do what you got to do, but just promise me that you're going to come home, right? Like, that's it. You go do, go live, go be, go have fun with your friends, right? As long as you make it back home, right? As long as you make it back home, you do you, right? It's not control. It's not insecurity. It's not anything. It's just, I love you enough to care about your safety. Go have fun. Be safe, right? That's the energy that song carries. That's true love. That's healthy attachment. Etta James, at last, right? I found a dream that I could speak to, right? I found a dream that I can speak to. This is a representation of acknowledging, right, that there's a person that you feel in your presence, right, that's committed, that there's belonging, okay, that you've always hoped to have. It's appreciation, it's recognition. Only that in which you could dream, right, you can now physically conversate with, and its presence is right there. It's recognition. It's, again, it's acknowledgement. It's healthy attachment. Ed Sheeran, thinking out loud, right? It's about unconditional acceptance, right? Of, I love your soul. It's the soul. It's not, things will change, this will change. Things will change over time, right? It's not conditional upon how you look now, what you have now, what you don't have now, right? It is forever. It's lasting. It's commitment, right? It's long term. It's secure. It's enduring. That is a healthy commitment. In saying this, I have to say this because there's people that are going to be like, oh, but everything with boundaries, right? But the thing is when it's healthy, you respect another person's boundaries. They respect yours because they've already done the group 3 work. They've already done the group 3 work. They've held the line, right? They've done it already. They know exactly all those lessons, right? So for those of you that don't, and you're like, it's because you don't understand the concept yet, right? Don't argue it with spirit. Spirit, don't want to argue it. They're saying it is what it is, right? Sonny and Cher, right? I got you, babe, right? Security, supportive, having each other's backs, right? True friendship. I support you in your endeavors. I'm here to back that in which you want to achieve, right? Healthy attachment. John Legend, all of me. It's a representation of love and acceptance of each other with focus on deeply rooted emotional and spiritual connections, right? It's not a physicality, okay? It's not surface level. It's none of that. It's recognition of one's soul, right? The essence of one's soul and committing on that level, right? If it ain't that, then it's probably not going to last. Alanis Morissette, Head Over Feet. It's about trusting yourself to open up once again, right? To drop your guard. And patience, right? It represents patience, the patience to nurture, right? That rebuilding of trust. 1221 on my screen there. It's about when somebody's transitioning or somebody's had to go through, say, like, a lot of abuse and things like that. It's about recognizing that somebody has the patience to deal with that. And it's also about appreciating that somebody has had the ability to drop their guard and trust you with that, right? It goes both ways. It's true reciprocity on a deep level, right? And Divine Masculine, let me tell you, right? You really want like the Destiny's Child Cater to You song, which is all about true recognition, right? Recognition of the efforts that you make. Wanting to be reciprocated, right? Wanting to have that reciprocation truthfully in a way that means something to you, right? You're wanting to be appreciated and shown that appreciation and the dedication because of you leading yourself correctly. The fact that you do that then further inspires Divine Feminine to better herself, to maintain herself better, to be stronger for you, right? You want all that? Go plant the fucking seed then, right? You want it to grow, right? You want to be like, oh, well, babies wouldn't be born if it weren't for us, right? That's right. They wouldn't be, Divine Masculine. There would be no babies without you planting any fucking seeds. If none of you ever had sexual intimacy with a woman, that's right. No babies would ever be born again. Do you not understand it? Do you not get it? Do you not get it? You already hold the fucking power that you won't even use. You won't recognize, right? It's just you can't understand it on the spiritual level that's you've got it, right? We can't get pregnant on our own without your seed anyway, right? But we birth it. You want it, we birth it. You got to give it to us though, to make that happen. Oh, but you're still not sure, masculines, about how you should feel about yourself. Shouldn't that say everything? Should not say everything, right? You gift Divine Feminine the seed. She gifts you the creation of life. That is an equal exchange. And it's happened for how long? As long as humans have been here on the face of this planet. Apply that now to every other aspect of your life right now. And I'm telling you, you plant those seeds, you're going to get everything that you want and more. Trust yourself, Divine Masculine. If you're not sure about it, not trusting yourself more, do a bit more work. You got a bit more work to do, okay? But I know that there are those of you, and I don't, again, Spirit's like, I know there are those of you, right? Whether this is me speaking to you guys here, whether this is just Spirit speaking out to the energy, right? I know there are those of you men here that recognize true Divine Feminine, right? You recognize it. You're not oblivious to it, right? So go plant your seeds, right? Go plant your fucking seeds. You want shit to grow? You want things to change? You're in control here, technically, right? The only thing that Divine Feminine can control is her boundary line, her self-respect, right? Her creative energy, in not pouring it into or giving it to anybody that doesn't deserve it. And if you can't recognize true Divine Feminine energy, then it's because you don't recognize your true Divine Masculinity. Go back a couple more steps. Go back a couple more steps. Opportunities will be given to those who go out and get it. Right? Who go out and get it. It is going to be a wild ride, you know? That's the thing, you know? It's, if you don't trust yourself, you know? It's not about, like, again, you know, you're not diving in fucking head first, right? You're not diving in head first, right? This isn't about rushing anything. This isn't a fucking race, right? This is about the opening up of energy, the opening up of the heart chakra, the opening up of all the chakras, right? So letting that energy flow. This isn't like a, oh, that's it, you go pick her, that's it, you marry her tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. No, right? This is, again, the next few months, right, is going to show you where you're at, okay? With the people that cross paths, the people that come in front of you, right? You're going to recognize the end of this period whether you've made the right decision in holding back from certain things, right? Or whether potentially you've lost opportunities, right? It's going to be made really clear to you by the end of this phase, right? I'm telling you. You're going to see it clearly whether you've, you know, Divine Feminine, right? With safe haven here. I get it, right? You are. You're waiting for that safe haven so that you can drop your masculine energy and stop fucking warding off motherfucker, right? And I'm gonna say it like this, motherfuckers with a stick, right? Beating them off with a fucking bat every time they try to step into your energy and take what you've had to. You not want to, you've had to, right? Because again, Divine Masculine, you need to recognize we don't want to have to do what we've had to do. We want to be Divine Feminines. We want to be nurturers. We want to be healers. We want to be creative. Again, don't think of this so fucking third dimensionally, because I can hear anything. Oh, but I'm supposed to just like, I'm supposed to, no, you're not supposed to be the only one that works. No, right? Yes, we live in a very different world right now. But does she need to be the one that fucking organizes the finances, the this, the that, the da-da-da-da? And I mean, not because of control, not because you want to control her and keep her and maintain her and manipulate, right? Again, guys, start to recognize the fucking fundamental spiritual truths. Take away all the 3D elements and all that shit, right? Understand on the energy level, right? The energetic level, okay? Divine Feminine is craving her fucking safe haven. So she don't have to fucking keep being the man out here. So she don't have to keep being so guarded, right? Because do you know how many men are out there that she has to guard herself from? There are dipshits every day in my energy alone that I know a lot of you guys see all the time, right? There is a fucking, like, why do you think I have to show up in this energy? Because who the fuck else is going to protect it, right? When I've only got me, who else is going to protect it? I still got 2 babies that I'm raising, right? That need mama to still nurture them. I can't do that if fucking low vibrational men are fucking taking my energy, can I? If they're taking all of that in which I need to pour into what I'm supposed to nurture, right? Then I'm not truly being divine, am I? I'm not truly being divine if I allow somebody that has fucking less than me, right? That can't muster up their own shit to fucking... Jamie, the Notebook. I can't. How the fuck can I be a true Divine Feminine and be responsible for my children as a mother if I don't stand in this fucking energy and protect myself from those kind of men? I can't. You know, think about it. It's not by choice. It's because I've had to create my own safe haven. Because nobody else is fucking stepping up, are they? Right? Now, granted, yes, the lessons, right? But I'm telling you right now, we are in a transitional period, right? Group 3 divine feminines are about to start transitioning into understanding, right? Because they are so burnt out from carrying the masculine energy. We're so burnt out from carrying the heavy load, right? When you think about the way men are built, right? That's why you guys are built bigger than us, right? But why do you think women go through childbirth? Because we can handle the pain. We can handle the pain, right? But the physicality aspect of the energy, right, is what we can no longer carry, right? You are going to find yourself, right, eventually over time, women are going to start to get almost, you don't like feminism as it is, wait till divine feminines start turning into feminists, right? Then there'll be no divine feminines left, right? There'll be no one to praise you, to love you, to nurture you, no one, right? How many more and more, and you look at this statistically, look at how many more women aren't having fucking children because of the way the world is, right? That's a statistical fact, right? Which is a direct representation of this exact energy that I'm talking about, guys, right? It's visually available for you to fucking see out there, right? All you gotta do is open your fucking eyes, right? Open your fucking eyes. That's it. Feminists are gonna be something to fear, okay? Right? Like, the path to finding forever, right, begins the moment that you choose it, right? The moment that you choose to find forever is the moment that you choose the divine masculine. At no other point does it come in and that all in that what you want, right? All the riches, all the abundance, because it's just money, it's just dollars and cents. I hope for those of you guys that's all you're worried about, right? I will be thoroughly impressed, right, when your bank account and numbers on a screen give your obituary, right, and tell a room full of nobody, right, how much the money loved you, right? Oh, I love it so much for accumulating me on a screen, right? Get real with yourselves, okay? Get real with yourselves. Divine feminine, true divine feminine offers a promise of love, of nurturing, right? But she won't give it to you unless you provide this, the safe haven. The safe haven, where she can drop all the masculine energy and give you, right, your responsibility, which makes you feel like a man, right? When you carry that, that's when you feel like a man. Ask any one of the men, right, that have that around you, if you can find them, right? Because there's not a lot, right? But there are men out there that have that, right? Ask them what that gives them, right? What pleasure a man fucking gets when that is the reward, right? Getting home and seeing that your fucking family, right, are happy, right? They greet you with so much admiration, respect, adoration, right? All the love and shit that you want, all the praises, right? That your soul needs, right? But you want to be praised out here for what? For what? For the shit that you won't do? Right? Oh. Sacred flame, guiding light, inner compass, right? Find your direction, right? Which direction are you going here? Okay, you are here to guide, right? Go towards the light, right? Go towards the light. But you're not gonna get all the fucking all this shit, right? That even I read for your energies, right? You guys keep asking, wondering, and no, you get to baseline shit. You're gonna stay in group 3, and that's great. You want to stay in group 3? Sweet, stay in group 3. But don't be blaming people like me, right? Who've tried to push you guys, encourage you guys, right? Help you guys to step into your fucking masculinity. And I don't fucking have to. It's not my fucking duty to, right? I'm a woman. Should I have to teach you how to fucking feel like a man, right? I will have Paul here with me tomorrow, hopefully on live. He's coming past today, right? Maybe take it from a man's perspective, right? Maybe take it, he can channel the energy as a man from the man's perspective and give it to you, right? Because if you're not understanding it from a divine feminine who can tell you what it is that you need to do, right, in order to get what you want, right? You can get it all, baby. You want the love, you want the fucking respect, you want the praise, you want the star, you can have it. But you got to fucking go and get it, right? Reach for it. Stars aren't about to fall out the fucking sky, right? The stars aren't about to fall out the fucking sky. You want the extra? Even Mia fucking says it too, right? Even Mia agrees. But you're not getting any of these extra things, right? So you guys start to recognize half of the abundance is divine feminine, right? Half of the abundance in which a man accumulates, right, is a divine feminine, is his counterpart. So if you are ready to love, if you are ready to lead, if you are ready to plant that fucking seed, then you're ready to start actually calling it in. But if you're not there, right? I'm telling you, you're going to have to learn that, right? You're going to have to learn that because nothing else can come in yet. Nothing else can come in. You have these opportunities, but even then, look at the way you hesitate, right? Oh, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do that. What should I be doing here? Da 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 da. Right? How are you going to lead, right? If you can't decide, why do you think you have that dynamic of, hey, babe, what do you want to eat? And Divine, I don't know. You decide. It's because you're the fucking leader, dude. And then you want to complain that Divine Feminine even fucking says that. Like, seriously, what the fuck do you want, Divine Masculine? Right? You want your fucking cake and eat it too out here. Spirit is saying no. Stop complaining that women do that. You want to be the leader? You fucking decide, dude. You fucking decide, right? You're the leader, aren't you? You're the boss, aren't you? You're the fucking emperor. Are you not? Are you not? Prove me wrong. Prove us wrong. Prove Divine Feminine wrong. Because the men that run the fucking world have well and truly proven, right, that they have no fucking ability to respect any of us, right? Any of us that are not a part of that little fucking special club, right? They don't have any ability to respect fucking any of us, right? Do they care? Do they lead correctly? No, right? Sorry to say, Divine Masculine, but some of you guys are just smaller, smaller versions of that. Less significant, let's say, versions of that. And you can't even blame Divine Feminine for that. You can only blame your own energies for that. Men are the ones doing that, not fucking women, right? But you wonder why women are bitter, scorn, this, that, and the other, right? Because you're out here fucking digging in Mother Earth, right? Raping it for her resources, right? Like you're entitled to it. We're entitled to just take from feminine energy. No, that's why Spirit's been giving it to Divine Feminine. They've been giving her opportunities so that she can grow, so she can build, so she can protect herself, man, because you're not out there doing it, right? Spirit said, that's enough, Carrie. I need a break. I love you guys, right? Think about it, right? Spirit's saying, think about it. Think about it, think about it, think about it. Where the fuck are you really at, right? Where are you at? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3? Are you trying to get to Group 4? Do you need to challenge yourself a little bit more? Are you kind of already understanding these concepts where you're ready to just, you're just like, you know what, fuck it. Just let it crack open. Just go for it. Take a fucking risk on yourself for once, right? Sure, you've all taken gambling risks, right? Silly risks. So take a risk on that in which you truly fucking want. You might, I don't know, be surprised. You might happen to be surprised, right? Isn't that what you want? You want it all? Go get it. Love you guys. Hope that helps, right? If it doesn't, then it's never meant to help. It's probably never going to help, right? But for those of you that fucking get it, I love you guys. I love you guys, right? I do. I love you guys so much. Divine Feminine, right? As a Divine Feminine, keep on keeping on, beautifuls, right? We know where we're at. For those of you guys that are at Group 4, right? Where you're like, we know what we fucking need in order to be able to keep going as Divine Feminines and growing, right? I love you guys, right? I do. Spirit does really want to fucking just, pat on the back because it hasn't been fucking easy to have to learn all these lessons, hold the boundaries, do this, that, and now just sit here, right? Just sit here like fucking in this energy and forever carry the weight of leadership on our shoulders, right? You guys are brave, right? But hey, that's why women go through childbirth, because we can hack the pain, right? We can hack the pain. I love you guys so much. Go have a good sleep if you're on the other side of the world. Thank you guys so much for the donations. I fucking love you guys, right? It's not that I need it, right? I do this because I love this, right? Spirit love you. Spirit gave me this message because they love you, right? But I do appreciate it, guys. Absolutely. I will see how we go with Paul tomorrow, right? Paul's coming over about 2 o'clock. We'll see what happens tomorrow, okay? We're just going to see. But we need to get moving here. I love you guys so much. If you're on my side of the world, have a good fucking day. I'll speak to a few guys in about maybe 5-10 minutes. Mwah. Love ya. Bye.